Hey, what's going on, y'all? So in case you haven't heard, the One Piece anime will be going on a 6-month break effective immediately and coming back on April 2025. Now, if you are like me, you were probably shocked and wondering what the hell was going on. Why was Toei suddenly going on a 6-month hiatus with One Piece's anime, given that it's their biggest moneymaker aside from Dragon Ball? Well, fret not, for I do not have the answers to that question, but maybe I can provide some insight as to why they made this decision and what it could mean for One Piece's future. Now, I want to emphasize that there's a lot of risk involved for Toei here to go on a 6-month hiatus, especially with their viewership. It's not like they just on a whim kick their legs on the table and said like, well, the One Piece anime seems to be doing pretty well, like I guess we can afford a break for our staff. No, at the end of the day, this is a business, so they have to have an underlying reason for why they think this will be a good idea. But I do genuinely think that this is also a decision made out of good faith. Now, I knew that there would be a major announcement for the One Piece anime in general. I thought it could maybe pertain to the remake, or maybe we could get like a remaster or a movie, or I don't know, maybe even a break. Now, I was expecting like a 1-month break, but a 6-month break is kind of unprecedented in One Piece's history, and it just goes to show how far the staff are going for us in the series. Because this 6-month break, it's not just to let those chapters of the manga build up so they don't catch up to it, but it's also to improve on various aspects of the series that have been widely criticized for years and years until now. So for example, one of the things that the One Piece anime was criticized the most for was its use of sound effects. Bro. That shit is more ancient than my great grandpa's cremated ashes. Like, we're talking about Dragon Ball Z era type shit, okay? Maybe even Dragon Ball. I don't know. Like, to this day, there are Dragon Ball sound effects being used in the One Piece anime, and we are in the year 2024. Just let that sink in for a bit. So yeah, this was a much needed change, and I'm finally glad to say that they're going through and changing, revamping the sound effects, making everything feel a lot more modern. Now, what else can we expect with this 6-month break? Well, we already know that they are also changing time slots. Now, I know that doesn't sound like it's that important, but trust me, it is. Now, for those that don't know, basically One Piece has a certain time period in which they can broadcast their episodes on Fuji TV, and their demographic is largely based on that time slot. So currently, One Piece is broadcasting Sundays every day in Japan at 9:30 a.m., which means there are kids watching. But now with their changed time slots, that means that older people will be watching now because the episode is being broadcast at a later time. Essentially, what that amounts to is that we could be getting less censorship in the anime, so expect more blood, guts, and tits flying around your screen. But this also means that you won't be getting the One Piece episode around the same time anymore that you used to before. So yeah, just watch out for that. Now, there is one thing that I'm scared about with this change of time slot, and that's that we could be getting ghosting and dimming. Now, One Piece was one of the only shonen anime that didn't really do that, thankfully, and that was because it was being broadcasted in the morning where there was plenty of sunlight and light to go around, so it wasn't damaging on the eyes. But that could just very well not be the case anymore because, well, it could be broadcast in the evening or night where it's dark and people can get their eyes damaged. Again, I'm praying that this is not the case because that would really fucking suck, man. I really don't want that to happen, but it is a possibility and I'm just putting it out there. So yeah, get ready for that. On a positive note, however, we are also, during this time where the 6-month hiatus is happening, we're going to be getting a remaster of Fishman Island, which is amazing. They're condensing the arc down into 21 episodes, which is kind of insane considering the One Piece version was like 2 times the length of that. So I'm really curious what they're going to exactly be cutting here, but Fishman Island was one of those arcs that really needed more love. So yeah, I just really love how Toei is doing this and feeding us throughout these 6 months where there is no new One Piece episode. We're still technically getting something new, which is the remake or remaster of the Fishman Island arc. And it's not just the pacing that'll improve, we're also getting a taste of the new sound effects and the music that they're going to be using, and they also improve the visuals, not just like making it upscaled or like more crisp or whatever. They actually redrew a lot of these scenes, pretty much everything from what I see, and they're just making everything more modern and in line with what we're seeing today, which is just like crazy seeing the comparison of quality between now and then. In addition to that, we're also going to be getting a new opening, or well, opening 15 but kind of remastered. It's going to be sung by the Straw Hats this time, and we're also getting a new ending, which I obviously can't play because I'm going to get smited by the copyright gods. So yeah, that's pretty much all the new news I have for you guys. I know this news might not be the greatest for some of you, and it could be very disappointing for others, but in my opinion, this just shows how much the staff loves and cares about the series and its fans, because they're trying to improve. They're trying to get rid of any source of criticism that used to exist for the series, because they want to give us the best possible experience with One Piece, because it is one of those series that is just magical and special in every way. It's a one-of-a-kind series, you know? So instead of being more mad and disappointed, I think we should be more appreciative as a community, because they are doing their best to give us what we want. And if some sacrifices have to be made along the way to make that happen, I think it'll be well worth it. Remember, we're still getting a fucking Wit Studio remake of One Piece as well. Like, they're just going far above and beyond for anything we asked for, and I think we should be more grateful about that. Like, just imagine the One Piece anime right now. Every episode, or like every other episode, we're getting such amazing Sakuga moments that other series couldn't even dream of. Even seasonals are falling flat in production and quality because they just can't keep up. And yet we have One Piece here, delivering week after week. So just to show how grateful we are, I think we need to respect their decision and I guess hope for the best, because we never know what might happen in the future, you know. But I have faith in them and their passion for the series, so I think everything's gonna turn out alright. Like, imagine like how good One Piece is right now without any flaws. If they take away all those flaws that the One Piece anime has, nobody has an excuse anymore. Speaking of which, I do find it a little peculiar how they're only remastering Fishman Island at the moment, which does give me hope that other arcs could be remastered as well. Because we have Dressrosa, which is arguably an arc that needed a remaster even more, sitting right there. A remastered Dressrosa would go so incredibly hard, bro. Forgot to mention, but we also have a short coming up directed by Megumi Shitani, where it doesn't have to do with the canon lore of One Piece, but it's like a side story with civilians and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. Not what I would have wanted from Ishitani, but I take it nonetheless. I think it's a good little treat. It's safe to say that Toei is trying their best to keep us fed during this dry period here, and I really do appreciate the length they're going through to make that happen. So just to sum things up, we got the One Piece hiatus 6-month break coming up. April 2025 is when it's coming back. But in the meantime, we got the Megumi Ishitani shorts that are coming up next week. Then we got the One Piece remaster with Fishman Island and possibly more arcs down the line. Now, regarding the sound effects, I think it's important to mention that it's not actually confirmed if those sound effects will be used for the anime or just reserved for the remasters. I just think it's like incredibly dumb if it's not. Like, why would you not do that, you know? But just letting it out there that they could very well just not decide to transport it over to the anime for whatever reason. So it's a possibility. And the last thing is that the anime will be changing their time slots to a later time, which could lead to less censorship, but also ghosting and dimming. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give my overall thoughts and deliver the news for you guys. So yeah, subscribe, like, all that jazz, and yeah, I will see you all in the next one. See ya.